So let me start with the beginning. I worked as an architect way back, in Infosys for some time, and I know you were in Yantra that time, which became Sterling Commerce in a product background, and Nandan, of course, pioneer in the IT service. Whenever we went to any client, whenever we go look at any product, the thinking was, what else can I add? What nifty feature can I add?
Right.
There is a user group there, what can I do for them? And that's the way our architectural thinking always was. And so when Nandan became, the chairman of UIDI, that time, Aadhaar, brilliant branding later, and you joined, what I was expecting that I'll get some real nice application, not app those days, mobiles were not that pervasive, which will give me all kind of things about me. What I got finally, these 4 things, right?
Yeah.
So how...
And a bad looking plastic.
I didn't even get a plastic that time. Much later I got. So for people coming from a product background and from a service background, it will be tough to see how this minimalism comes in. I mean, today we can reflect back that that's a great idea, but at that time, how did the thinking change?
Excellent question, actually. So one of the things, it wasn't new to platform builders. So if you're building platform, and that your success of your platform comes from success of the ecosystem around you that is using the platform. Like Google Maps success come from, so on, right? Cloud success come from because somebody is using the cloud API. So I think in one sense, the platform thinkers had that in their mind that if you start competing with your own ecosystem and start building everything, only a question of time, ecosystem will start disliking you, right? So you almost always, early days for sure, the platforms will try to keep very sort of minimum infrastructure, APIs and so on, and actually allow ecosystem to say, you complete the workflow and you complete the UX and you complete everything else. So it wasn't that uncommon, but I think for Aadhaar, you're right. I think it was neither natural to designers and technologists to keep it minimal, and it was not natural to policy makers to keep it minimal. That's a funny thing. So we had both Delhi and Bangalore in one sense was opposing this idea that you have to keep, you don't want anything in Aadhaar. I mean, that's a weird thing, right? Because policy guys will say, no, you're going to have 1 billion people stand in line. I want to know their education status. When will you get a chance to actually have 1 billion people physically stand in line to give you biometric? You can almost ask 3 more questions, no? What is your education status? Do you have pakka house or kacha house? How many children do you have? What caste do you have? Why do you need caste census if Aadhaar had caste? All these were real discussions in 2009. And it was not even unnatural at that time. What is a big deal asking blood group? What's the big deal? It's one extra field, no? We started with 26 fields. Then becomes 18 fields. Then becomes negotiating at least 12 fields. Okay. And the argument, it's brilliant. I sat through the committee. It's a brilliant unraveling of how you convince the counterparty. Not by saying, I don't want you to keep more data. I don't trust you to keep more data. All these are a bad answer. You can't tell a secretary in Delhi or cabinet secretary that I don't trust you. He says, who are you? Get out, right? They're going to eject you like alien particle, like the next day. So we had to convince them from their true care. What was their care? Inclusion. And we made an argument of inclusion as the pivotal argument in Delhi to actually keep minimum. That means if the more questions we are going to ask, the less people are going to be able to make that form fill. That means actually prove. Like for example, if you ask father/husband, very traditional field. In all government forms you will say father. Don't ask me wife/mother kyun nahi hai and all, okay? Okay, it's not like that. At that time, everything was father/husband only. Okay, get used to it. We said no, because what happens to homeless? Homeless children, what will happen? They don't. How will they say? What will they fill? Nobody will know what to fill. Either they'll fill junk, which is useless, or they won't be able to fill it. Somebody will say, no, you have to bring some proof. What happens if you are leprosy patients? What happens if you are blind or something? If you have we used inclusion as an argument to say less, and ended up with 4. Okay, 4 attributes and 2 optional fields. Brilliant discussion to understand how you are arguing not what your care is their care of them to convince them. In Bangalore, it was the other way around, because we are product guys. We like more buttons. Okay, we like more features. Our way of life is to explain features to everybody, right? You tell engineers, what are you building? Blah, blah, blah. He'll tell you this feature, that feature, this feature, because that's how we keep ourselves busy, I think. Anyway, so, and here we are saying, we don't want any feature. Only one feature you want. Deduplicate while issuing the identity, and 2 APIs, one to authenticate, one to exchange the KYC. What is this? Very disappointing. Yeah, very disappointing. Yeah. So, but again, I think what drove us is the rest of the complexity of launching this project was so crazy impossible, because Nandan also went and told whatever to Prime Minister then, Manmohan Singh, that in 4 years he will do 600 million Aadhaar. Nobody in the world ever had done anything 600 million, other than maybe Facebook or somebody, who was trying at that time, early days of that coming through, or some big tech. 600 million in 4 years. No way you can do this. So we were all humbled very quickly as a team, and our egos had to be parked outside the room, because we were all senior people from different backgrounds. We could have actually, come at it each other. But we said, crap, this damn thing, I have no idea how we can have 600 million people in 4 years. And he said, first 1 year is honeymoon period to launch it, and the last 6 months it will be election, again election, next election. Nobody will be busy. So really we have 3.5 years, in case you thought you had more time. Okay? And that forced us to be, that means build less, right? One thing we have control is actually build. Why do we add our own complexity into it? Anyway, the political complexity, standing complexity, 600,000 villages, languages, culture, we have to get 600 million people. The last thing we want to do is to add technological complexity. So I think it was forced, it was necessity, but it worked out brilliantly, because no department saw Aadhaar as a competition, except Home Ministry, okay, which is because the NPR project. Other than that, every health guys said, okay, that's nice, because you're not capturing any health attribute. Food guys said, you're not capturing anything related to you're not coming to my turf. So everybody liked it. I think it worked very well, both technically and programmatically, in one sense, program launch. And that's why we got to 630 million people in 4 years, above 600. When Nandan exited in March 2014, we were 630 million. And we reached 5.5 years, we reached 1 billion people, which is just crazy. Keep it simple, stupid.
Yes.
We have heard this many times before.
Yeah. And I can only add, less is more, and simple is complex.
Yeah. But at scale.
Yeah. And the only thing I can think of is, early days in internet, we had 2 search engines. We had Google and Yahoo. You go to the Google page, you just see a search and maybe a few things around.
Minimalism.
Yahoo was full.
Yeah.
And we all know who won, right?
Yeah.
So great thought, but obviously tough. Thanks for sharing that. Let's just move to the UPI side. As you mentioned, we had RTGS, we had IMPS,
successful,
we had
very
NEFT,
successful.
I suppose, right?
Yeah.
So, but you were coming
NEFT
from
was
Aadhaar.
batch. Both RTGS and NEFT were batch. The only real time was IMPS at that time.
Yeah. So, what shaped your architectural thinking for UPI when you had some things already existing? You had this Aadhaar experience. What shaped the architectural thinking?
Yeah, that's good. By the way, we did e-sign before that. okay, concurrently. So 2014 was a phenomenal year. That UPI was designed same year, eSign was designed and DigiLocker was designed. Okay, all 3 years, and everything was launched next year, 2015. UPI was pilot and 16 real production, but other two were launched in 2015. All of them successful today. And all by then, I think we constructed few ideas. One, I think minimalism stuck with us. Public infrastructure. What does it mean to create infrastructure for a country? Sovereignty questions, vendor neutrality question, evolution question. How can we tie ourselves into some tech of today when you are laying the road for the future? And the idea that future is so unknown, that how do you design today for an unknown future? And that's a very weird ask, right? Nobody can predict future. So we said optionality must be a strategy. And then uses the word optionality as a strategy. That means we keep enough hedge, enough options in your, as an architect, in your hand. So we designed minimalism, optionality, vendor neutrality, thinking idea of what one thing can do at scale, for the country. We already saw that with Aadhaar. That's when UPI came about, and UPI's only one ask was that if messages can move in WhatsApp at that speed, why can't money move at that speed? Literally, we wrote that one line to start with UPI. Why is it so hard to move money into merchant's hand or banana seller's hand or my daughter's fees, or why is it so freaking hard? It's not hard. Finally, it's not hard. Actually, and the good thing is that I keep saying, I had no banking background, by the way. I never worked in any bank. I never understood the money flow. I never understood the settlement infrastructure. I didn't understand, how the controls around money movement actually happened in the domestic. How do you de-risk bank run? Indians don't have bank run, but you never know, right? A bank could blow up too. So how does guarantees work between the two banks? The good thing, I keep telling people, curse of knowledge. Half of us are with so much curse of knowledge that we know we have done this before, we have seen it, and we are making an incremental change. That's most of the days, that's what we do. When you are put in a situation where, you are completely out of water, fish out of water, and you have no clue how this stuff works, you become a true learner and you start thinking from first principles. So I was a first principle designer to NPCI. NPCI made sure my principles are not like all over the place crappy. They understand the money movement really well, right? So they made sure the domain part of it, how really what we need to do for settlement and guarantees and controls and everything else we need to do. I brought a completely technological first principles thinking, and we ended up with 1.5 page. You know that UPI design is 1.5 page.
No, I didn't.
That's it. It's UPI. And everything we imagined UPI is not yet happened. That means we have still many more things you can unlock on UPI which is not yet seen. Okay, and we have designed it. Funny thing, again, this is where you learn tricks of the trade. We were like, I like architect, we want to tell about every capability that we are building, right? So I said, oh my God, this protocol 1.5 page can move like HTTP for money. I can move like instantly. I can programmable movement. I can adjust any pluggable authentication, future tokenization. And Dilip, who was my three of us design. Dilip is the CEO of NPCI. Brilliant guy. Brilliant operator. Okay. He says, Pramod, you are living in 2035. Okay. If I say all these things in Mumbai, my central bank will, like, literally governor will shoot me. Okay, right now. So we ended up writing literally less than half of what we designed in the paper. So unless you are a real futurist who is reading the protocol, you can't see this feature. Okay. We still have a lot of those hidden features which I don't think central bank even knows. It's there. But what the reality of life is that society doesn't move at the same speed as we are thinking. At scale, society moves conservatively, We trust, believe this stuff works, I have the money, something doesn't blow up, fraud doesn't blow up. That calibration is what we did from 2016 to 2018. Protocol remains the same 1.5 page protocol today. And I remember Netflix founder literally wrote to me saying, my God, he emailed me saying, Pramod, you have no idea what you rescued Netflix in India. Because we had no mechanism to do cheap subscriptions at that scale of 50 rupees a month or something. UPI literally changed. The programmability of UPI changed the ability. We have not done e-vouchers successfully. We have not done gift tokenization yet. We have not done many of those yet. We can do all kinds of interesting stuff. So UPI learning was that keep it minimal, really design for the future, architect for the future, but implement for today. And calibrate your implementation so that the society at scale comes along with you. Okay, you can't just because a tech geek you just want to use everything. I think it's very little tech learning. And of course it's open source, 15 billion API calls, asynchronous design, messaged everything through Kafka, containerized, and database is all sharded and usual stuff, but that's boring. We do it every day. Yeah. You guys know it.
Great thoughts, and I'll take that first principal point and the focus on adoption. That's what.
Absolutely. Unlocking value. If you can learn to unlock one value at scale, that's better than 100 features but not at, everything is little used. That's one learning I'll any day go with. Even for commercial venture, if I'm doing, I'll say do one thing but do it so well. Yeah. But design it so that you have hedging as a company for other things to do. Yeah, architect it, but very precise at scale launch, implementation. Yeah.
So I'll put you in a little spot now. I want you to practice what you preach. You are preaching minimalism. This question, you have 3 sentences only available to
3
answer.
words.
3 sentences I'll give you. I'm very good with you.
Okay. You have been very kind.
Yeah. So backend today is being used across use cases. You saw in the energy, of course,
agriculture,
commerce, agriculture, right? What is the most surprising use case which you found where you thought, oh wow, I never thought this
Actually,
is what
energy. It was very straightforward. Because I don't come from energy space. Sujit didn't come from energy space. Our community didn't have any energy experts. So we could imagine taxi booking, goods movement. I come from supply chain background. So I could imagine most of the supply chain logistics, bidding, real-time bidding of logistics, like Dunzo like bidding. We could imagine all that thing. We could even imagine telemedicine, discovery of doctors, trusted discovery of doctors, telemedicine, lot of that healthcare. Because we already did UPI. So, and UPI, we keep saying this. After all that thing, banks never went to villages. I keep saying this in many places. But we managed to get banking to villages. Okay, this is a very important part of it. Nouns never went, verbs went. Okay, that because of the tech, power of tech. And could we do the same thing for healthcare? We have been actually thinking actively. Because you can't get actual doctors to go to villages. However, there's no incentive. There's no mechanism for. So primary care is broken, as you know, right? It's terrible. We are creating insurance program, affordability side of it. But access is not there. We have affordability through insurance, but access is not there. So we have been thinking about a lot of those sectors. We covered health, we covered job access, internship, because for my daughter, I had to hunt down some internship in Kormangala, calling friends and all. I said, why is it so hard? And I always thought maybe Pekin is useful for job discovery, trusted exchange of employment credentials. Yeah, they're all. Energy, never. Never. It was complete surprise that you can do Pekin for energy trade. Yeah.
Great answer. But your supply chain background ultimately tells you that everything moves. Energy also moves. So that's also a thing, right? So I think that helps.
Yeah.
Okay. So I have heard you often saying protocols eat platforms for breakfast. So in Indian context, which platform do you think, would you want to be really replaced by protocol in a big way?
I don't want any platforms to be replaced by protocol. And this is exactly the same question like saying, is UPI a visa killer? Stupid question, wrong question. You will get wrong answer if you ask wrong question. It's about expansion of the pie. It's about massive formalization of the economy. If only 22 million people can credit card, only 5 million merchants can accept money, we had a problem. Only 22 million people can be in stock market or mutual funds, we have a problem with 1 billion adults. Okay, so we cannot leave much of our society in informal economy. When you look at the transaction, the fragmentation is scary. High cost, high compliance, low trust trade actual transaction economy. And I don't think it's a platform replacement game. It's a platform unification game. For India, definitely a platform unification. But companies like Amazon and all might never join because they're so large and we love them and nothing wrong and it's beautiful. But every country needs a choice. So if people ask this again, because UPI, why do you need IMPS, why do you need RTGS? Can't UPI different value can transfer? Yeah, UPI can do what RTGS can do or anything can do. Or IMPS can do, NEFT can do. But, so why do we need cards? We need choice. Every society needs multiple choices and diversity of coexistence of diversity because you never know when shit hits a fan. Okay, when something goes wrong, resilience of economy comes from actually having optionality. And that's why I think it's good to have platforms, good to have platform unification so that we are not fragmented. But so it's a very different imagination of internet was not a platform killer. Internet was an amplifier. And that's what backend does.
Yeah, great to hear. I'm quite sure many were very comforted. So your backend is not to kill any platform. You want platforms to grow, thrive, innovate.
Absolutely.
But just be compliant with backend.
100x. You should grow. 100x. Yeah.
Okay, great. Let me just switch gear into we are here in learning, right? And you have done amazing things. You have gone across the globe. You have created impact for billions. I was always wondering, do you ever feel you are out of depth? Do you ever feel I don't know what to do here? Does it happen ever to you?
All the time, unfortunately. All the time. Every one of the projects. Every one of them.
What do you do to get out of that then? That will be
Aadhaar, when we was imagining DigiLocker, nothing. Even Apple Wallet or Google Wallet, nothing existed. 2014, when you were imagining a user holding a wallet in the cloud or in a mobile, having all their credentials in a verifier. It's an imagination that out of nothing, right? Empty paper. There was nothing like e-sign, what's called a real-time digital. There are private companies like, the DocuSign in the US. You can sue private companies who are doing it. But nobody has seen a protocol that allows interoperable digital signature to flow under the law. When we did UPI, completely new because I had no clue how my banking systems work and money works. So I was again out of depth. GST, I was again out of depth because I had seriously no understanding. I still don't understand how this GST full taxation, how many forms 2B, AB, CD and all that thing, forms they come up with. I'm always aghast at saying, oh my God, we have such a natural thing to complicate. That's the only thing it keeps me saying that they keep complicating more and more. But it's all the time, all the project. The reason why is that in the last 15 years, I have been privileged to be part of a group of people who are thinking about the future and trying to shape the future. And the problem with the future is unknown. You have no idea what it is. You don't know how the tech is going to come. We didn't know ChatGPT will come. You didn't know Web3 was slowly coming. We didn't know what all it will going to come, and it will continue to come, right, in 2030 and 2035. So I think we are out of depth all the time. All the time. I think it's a good thing. I have felt being completely out of depth humbles you every day saying, my God, I am an idiot. I actually have no freaking clue how to do this stuff. You know what it will make you do? It will make you collaborate better. It makes me collaborate better, makes me like a child. Today, when I'm put in I used to sat with Bharat Goenka, tally guy, right? The tally founder, early startup, entrepreneur. Tell him, please explain the basics. What does this VAT really work? How does this, why is it that way? All asking why behind the why. I wasn't interested in VAT forms. I was interested in what is the real purpose of what was the essence of this. And then first principles try to reconstruct GST network architecture, right? So I think it will allow you to be a learner like a child. It allowed you to be asking stupid questions every day to anyone who comes across you. Oh, you know how banking was, let me ask you a bunch of questions, right? I don't know. Second, you end up collaborating. Without these two, you tend to become egoistic, you think you can do it, you know almost you can do it, and it's a bad place to be. So if you are waking up in a comfortable place every day, you are already in a bad place. You are no more learning. I mean, incremental.
So,
yeah,
very comforting, I'm quite sure, for many of the people.
So
here,
put yourself in some places where you are completely clueless, and that gives you like a child. Makes you like a child.
Yeah. And that brings me to two very quick questions. I want very short answer to this. Whatever you do, you explain, right? If you have to explain that to a 10-year-old, how will you explain what you do? And you have 2 lines. 10 years old don't have more patience.
10 years don't even have patience, 2 lines. Yeah. Nobody listens. Yeah. No, that's
out of depth.
Out of depth again. Yeah. Tough question. But I would probably use a simple example. Like, not one thing. You can't explain one. Let's say you explain one of the items. We said, today what do you do? Today what you have seen doing it? How do you think is working? Okay, then you will say, okay, this is an improvement of what's called a +1 thinking. You have to convert it to what they know and what the examples they are familiar with, and you will say, oh, this is just a digital version of, a slight improved version of that. I think if you can't map it to where they are, it's the same thing, isn't it? Why 10-year-old? Same thing with everybody else also, grown-ups also. Yeah, because you have to, when you explain to somebody, you have to explain to where they are. You can't force them to be where you are.
Okay, great answer. I'll just ask you one final question, and that's for the audience. I heard you quote Nandan saying trend is friend, right?
Yeah, totally.
Now, but the only problem is, how do you know that which trend is going to be friend and which is not, right? And you travel a lot, you work with all kind of people, politician, policy maker, and so on, and equally with developers, right? Can you share 1 or 2 trends which you see for next 5 to 15 years which will be useful for the architect community to catch on with?
Yeah, absolutely. I think 2 things I think you should learn to do. 1, map all the trends, and abstract, create patterns out of it. Because patterns allow you to map these 2. The third, surround yourself with smarter people than you, constantly. Okay, every one of the project I would never say I'm the smartest in any sense, because then gives you an exponential learning, because they are also thinking, right? Then you are allowing you to, it's like play chess with the better people. Otherwise you keep beating and then you are happy and then you'll never learn anything, right? So what is a trend? 2 trends. I think probably 2 or 3 trends that you want to do. 1, miniaturization of everything. Remember, that is constant miniaturization of everything is going on. So that's why devices are getting shrunk, IoT, small phones are getting shrunk. It's only a question of time, phone will become here and inside, and it's like miniaturization. It's very, very powerful trend to track in your head. Second, programmability. And today, intelligent programmability, right? That means everything is becoming programmable and intelligent. Very, very powerful trend. It was not the case with the smart meter. This is why when you look at energy, battery is programmable. Everything is starting to get programmable. That means software layer. Mark Anderson said software eats the world, right? Now intelligence eats the world, or AI eats the software, whatever they keep coming up with. But it's a programmability argument. It's about ability to program everything. That means create dynamism, not a static thing. It's not one smart meter and fixed. Everything is programmable. Okay? That's second trend. The third trend is energy. It's a very powerful fuel for humanity. And energy is shifting its shape. And when energy is shifting its shape, you have to actually understand what will it imply to this world of miniaturization and programmability connected with energy. And the fourth, programmable biology. You must actually track the intersection of these four trends. These four trends are enormously powerful when they intersect. When they intersect, unbelievable explosion. We will not even see the humanity shifting to something crazy. I would track this any day.
Great. Thank you very much. And
thank you.
We ran out of depth earlier, but out of time now. So, what, Victor, should we take a question or we move on?
Actually, I think that covers everyone else. In the interest of time and to be fair to our poster participants, we would request you to give a little time to actually go through the posters while they present it. So this is their moment to shine. And
I actually went through when I came in. You weren't there, but I actually went through. I saw some very interesting stuff on the posters. Congratulations.
Oh, wow. I think we have one question that we'll be able to take.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, so we can take one question and I'll get to choose.
All right, the first one wins.
Okay.
Can we get a mic to that gentleman, please?
And you have a busy day ahead, so I want.
Hi.
Yes. Yeah. Hello. Yeah.
So, firstly, congratulations, and it's good to know. Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. So, firstly, congratulations, and I'm happy to be here to talk with you. One interesting thing that I learned from here is programmable battery backup. Right? That was very interesting because energy is a space no one has ventured into, at least, or it was not explored that much. But I have a couple of questions. One on the UPI when it was developed, or now how it is functioning. Why only 1 lakh per day? Is it something to do with the regulatory, or I'm sure architecture wise it is possible, but when IMPS you can do 2 lakhs, why not from UPI?
Okay, very good question. So this comes back to how regulator views multiple offerings to the country and tries to balance between IMPS. By the way, IMPS runs on UPI protocol today.
Okay.
FASTag, when you go through the toll, it actually uses UPI behind the scene. So UPI protocol can move money from any endpoint to any endpoint. Remember. But as a product, UPI is separate, FASTag is separate, IMPS is separate, RTGS is separate, and EFT is separate. We can know why an EFT batch based thing. All of them are actually useful. So RBI looks at it very differently, and they also try to calibrate different. Obviously, tech, you can put 3 more zeros there. Okay, 1 lakh or 1 million or 10 million doesn't matter for tech. It's the same, extremely secure. But what happens is use case driven. RBI asks, UPI was meant for high volume, low value transactions to be unearthed.
Got it, yeah.
And who sends 50 lakhs today? How many people send 50 lakhs today? And for them, they might need a maker checker flow. One pin and all may not be enough. They might need additional security controls, all that thing for high value. So they look at it differently from a product use case point of view, not from tech point of view. Okay. That's why it's kept. Just a number, 1 lakh. I think it's becoming 2 lakh, 3 lakh and all, they keep changing. It's okay. One of these days. Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, have a great day, by the way. Thank you. All the best.
Victor, over to you.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Can we just stay on stage for 2 more minutes? May I request our CEO Pankaj and Dr. Priya to please come on stage to
we'll take a photograph?
Dr. Varma.
Okay.
Yes, and a photograph.
We can take a photo, reverse photo with everybody else.
Probably we can.
Yeah. We should be there. Yeah. Oh my God. Okay, that's
miniaturization.
I know. That's like okay. Thank you both. Thank you though. Thank you. Come. How are you?
Pleasure.
See you. Yeah. Come. Oh, that's interesting. Ma'am, come here. Okay. Here, come here.
Yes.
Thank you.